value a simple life. Working the fields during the day, so that you have food to eat with your family at night before sleeping, and then waking to do it all over again. It is a different life from ours, but it shares a fundamental similarity. We each follow routines, not because of any inherent good to them. We do so to survive, and somewhere along the way, we find happiness during our existences, contentment. Unfortunately, it is only too easy for something to disrupt that routine, and for happiness to shatter, like a fallen mirror. And sometimes there is no fixing what has once been broken. Over time, your lands became infested, and not just with the walking corpses and skeletons, but also with the devastating alien entities that you have come to call creepers, alongside other monstrosities that slipped through the gaps between worlds. In response, some of your kind gathered their brightest minds, pooling their intelligence and experience in an effort to solve the crisis, or to at least lessen the damage. Collected into a single grand academy of scholars and spellweavers, the organization proved quite resourceful, but they were not resourceful enough. They retreated to cellars, isolated cabins and caves, where they could work in hiding. Your broken and scattered academy spent years devising a remedy to the plague of monsters. One failed creation after another, one dead end of research and reconnaissance followed by the next. It seemed that the wizards and scholars would grow old and perish before they could reclaim their homes. Some did. Recently, though, they made something. The first in a series of weapons that doubled as keys into other worlds. After years spent in darkness with only each other and their books for company, the Academy and their guardians had a way of investigating the source of their people's demise, and perhaps finding a solution. And find a solution they did. It just talks too much.
I was new to this. The traveling. It was peaceful, but all I had ever known was peace, quiet. Once I had the company of my kind, but those moments are brief for us. I don't mourn the loss. Whenever I stopped to feed, there were hints of other experiences, feelings, nothing concrete. It was all nebulous, as chaotic and ill-defined as the energy I drank from each world. I would drink a bit, leaving plenty for each world to thrive off of until I could recover what I had taken. My kind are not greedy, like some others we know. We are more like your hummingbirds or butterflies, migrating through reality, taking a little piece with us from each stop, and pollinating what we visit along the way. No malice, no care, just life passing in its own way. But like your world's animals, there came a time when I needed to seek out one of my own. It was only during what happened afterward that I felt fear for the first time.
About how many individuals among species like yours meet a mate and decide to build a life together, spending the rest of their limited days in company. That sounds quaint, cute. This is not our way. We have little desire for companionship and seldom the need for each other's aid or company. Sometimes, however, there is the need. It drives us to seek each other out, and in that short time together, we can make something beautiful between us. A new world of our own for us to build as we need. But, as with everything, some endeavors are bound to become disasters.
Everything needs something to build from. Some sort of template. Pure potential energy will create something eventually. Yes, as evidenced by the great explosion that began your own universe. However, it is usually best to provide a design to follow. Energy needs to go somewhere. It wants to be used. So when we create a world meant to design itself around a creature, the world leaps at the chance to begin building, even if the first creature to enter that world is not us. But what does an infant world know of the undead? Nothing except the land where the creature came from. Why then bother with making the people that the undead usually spawn from? Why bother with creatures to build and ruin monuments when they could be created in their desolated forms? It is much easier for the world to simply make more creatures like the one that it molded its reality around. And so, we inadvertently created a world of monsters, ruled by monsters, and built only to breed monsters.
No matter what we try to do, sometimes our best efforts turn to ruin. Sometimes that ruin can affect others, harming people and things that we had never even anticipated coming into contact with. Yet even though we cannot fix our own mistake here or save ourselves from it, we are fortunate enough that those whom we have harmed are capable of doing so in our stead. For now, we can only hope that these humans will be strong enough to mend what we have broken, and in saving both of our kinds, give us a chance to repay our debt.